Good afternoon. I am your co host. It's B Fedora, and you'll notice that Curtis is missing, but he's on his way. So he'll pop in with us. So, welcome to another episode of Sweet 915. This is Sunday, March the 3rd. We are getting started a little behind, but like I said, Curtis is on his way. So, we are here to discuss some current events. So we'll get into it. But welcome. February, we just finished. We had a leap year, so it's Black History Month, although we celebrate Black history every day. Uh, so we're here to bring you some information about the state of Black people in America. So today, we're going to have a special guest, which is our producer, publisher, Monica Tucker. And she's going to be discussing some upcoming events, some latest news and information, a call to action beyond the conversation, El Paso Black businesses, Black leadership in El Paso, Black hashtag after February, the issues, and challenging Black monolithic myths and the election season. Dear candidate is the tagline. So we are going to get right into it. But before I do, just to give you our usual COVID update, the numbers may be lower, but COVID is still around. So please be careful. Take care of yourself. The RSV virus and the flu has been on the rise around and here in El Paso as well. So please keep yourselves protected. All right, we're going to get right into it and welcome our guest for today.
Hey, Fedora.
Hey, Monica, how
You know
are
I
you?
don't want to be on here,
I know, but you need to be.
but I'm
You
being obedient. I'm being obedient.
right, be obedient. So, just getting off into it. So, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, for those who don't know, because I know we do have some new people who have come on board and who are supporting us.
Hmm.
I'm originally from Illinois. I've been in here in El Paso since '96, minus 1 year. I said I didn't like it when I got here, but here I am. Still here. But I
Oh,
am the publisher of Black El Paso Voice, amongst other media outlets. We are switching up some things right now, which is one of the reasons why I'm on here today. I'm a community activist. I support all people, but I have a special call towards for Black people right now. That's what the Lord is calling me to. So here I am.
all right. So, reflecting on 2023, what significant goals did you accomplish and what were some notable achievements in driving real change?
Um, Well, in 2023, we ended up doing our Juneteenth El Paso for the first time here with the city, and they are actually on board to support us for 2024. That was one of the biggest things that we did accomplish. We also had the first Black El Paso Voice Community Awards, where we acknowledge those in the business community and those who are in service in the community, acknowledging them, acknowledging those who are our partners in the community too. So those were some pretty significant goals that we set out to do, when we accomplished those. We still have a long way to go, but those were the two that stood out the most.
Yeah, good. That's great. What are the key objectives and aspirations of MOCA in 2024, particularly concerning supporting El Paso Black businesses and stimulating Black leadership in the community?
So some of the key objectives that we hope to accomplish in 2024 includes, of course, supporting Black businesses. We have the free Black Business Directory, and it's at elpasoblackpages.com. It has been kind of difficult to encourage Black business owners to sign up. Some say that they don't want to lose customers who are not Black because they feel if they just promote the fact that they're a Black-owned business, that they'll lose supporters. I don't believe that, but I know it does happen here in El Paso. But it has been difficult. Some have, came on board and they've gotten clients who they realized that were not Black, who actually found them on the Black pages.
Mhm.
So that's one of the goals that we're going to try to work on this year, a better way of trying to encourage Black business owners to sign up. Because I think we need a better idea of approximately how many Black-owned businesses we have here.
Mhm.
And that's one of the ways that we can do that. In addition, of course, the Black Business Network, which is what manages the El Paso Black pages, we're starting our initiative with meeting quarterly to talk about resources, some ways that we can help one another. We'll provide educational sessions for those who are in business, and that's coming up in April, and we'll put more information out about that soon. We do need some who are in the community who are subject matter experts to come on board and assist us with that so we can help Black business owners. But we do have a great working relationship with the El Paso Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, with the Women's Business Border Center, and they have been great. So we want to continue that relationship. We're not going to reinvent the wheel. Some have asked us when it comes to Black-owned businesses, should they relaunch the Black Chamber of Commerce? Because there used to be a Black Chamber of Commerce here when I first got here in '96. But I didn't want to go that route. That's not the way that God had me going. So we're going to stick with the El Paso Black Business Network. It's working for us so far. So that's one of the objectives that we have. But also to encourage those who are leaders in the business community to participate in other areas as well, just to be a mentor to the youth and others who want to start businesses here.
That's great. All right. Following discussions from our Black Roundtable in July of 2023 on the state of the Black community in El Paso, have you observed any tangible changes or achievements in the status of Blacks within the city, especially regarding the issues highlighted post February?
We have since July. We did have I wanted to bring together Black leaders or those who say they are Black leaders in the community from various backgrounds, whether it's business, church, other religious areas, just in the community, nonprofits. And we had quite a few people who did come out, and we opened it up for those who were wanting to come on board to be a part of our Black Roundtable. Of course, the Black Roundtable consists of those of us who are subject matter experts in various areas, from parenting to business, health and wellness. We were looking for those people in the community, and also just citizens in general who could be available to maybe attend meetings, whether it's city council, the commissioners court meetings, school board meetings. And we had a few people. Out of the 75 people who attended, besides us, of course, those of us who were on board already, we
Hmm.
had about 3 people who wanted to come on board. And while that was great, I didn't want to put all that on just 3 people. We still need individuals in the community who can come on board, come and talk to us to see where we're needed in the community. So we're going to try that again. And that's what we'll talk about that a little bit later. But we need people in the community who can be available
Hmm.
when it comes to supporting our efforts and what we're trying to grow with the city too. So we just need individuals who want to see us grow. They want to see Black-owned businesses flourish. They want to
Hmm.
see our educational system be kind to our youth who
Hmm.
are in school. So we need those people who are not afraid to talk, not afraid to have the conversation, not afraid to call out wrong, and those who provide solutions also. So we still have a long way to go with that, and hopefully this year we'll see some changes.
Good. How crucial is it for organizations or individuals to cultivate relationships with local city and county officials, particularly during election season when engaging with potential candidates? Seems like that's all
Whew.
I got.
Um, I think it's very crucial. We had that conversation back in July,
Mhm.
and one of the issues that still remains is the lack of camaraderie and coming together that we have within the Black community, the organizations, individuals. We're not getting along. And some people will say that I'm wrong for bringing that up. Like, why would she be discussing that in front of company? It's because we're still sweeping things under the rug. We can't keep doing that. We have organizations, but when we have individuals who do want to see change, but then you still have those people who have their own agenda as well, and it's not benefiting us as a people, as Black people. When it
Mhm.
comes to trying to cultivate relationships, we do want to cultivate those relationships with city officials, but we have to be mindful of how we approach the city and county as well. And this past year, it wasn't so nice. um, Most people don't want to discuss that, but we need to have that conversation, as well. The reason I'm on here today, and again, everyone knows that I just absolutely hate
Don't like
being
it.
on camera, but it's needed. I'm on here today because we need people who don't have their own personal agendas that's going to hinder the rest of us. What we experienced in 2023 was really sad. Unfortunately, we had people who were on board, with us, but then, of course, their own agenda. If things weren't moving like they wanted it to, they wanted to do their own thing. So in the meantime, they hurt other people. I'm not in the business of hurting people, so I'm okay with allowing people to do what they do. I don't want to, you know, bring people around us who are going to harm other people, who are going to harm organizations. We already have issues within the Black community, and we already have others. We're trying to challenge that status quo, or the belief that all Black people are a monolith. People think that we vote the same. They think that we eat the same. They think that we do everything the same, and that's not us. But when you have those in the community who are portraying the actual stereotypes, we have to move away from them. And then
Mhm.
that puts us back a little bit. It's like 5 steps forward, 3 steps back. So we're
Mhm.
still playing catch up. So we're hoping to find individuals in the community who are actually genuinely want to see us grow. We don't want to put all the work on one person. I'm only one person. I can't do everything. Some people think that I have an agenda. I've been doing this since 98, 99. And I'm like, what agenda do I have? They think we're trying to make money off of people. I use my own money. I'm not asking anyone for anything.
Mhm.
We just need the bodies. We need the bodies in the community who are going to be available to be able to assist us. We
Mhm.
can't do it ourselves. We need more than just 7 or 8 people too. We need those who understand that instead of constantly trying to restart and relaunch a program, come on board and help us do this together. It's not a for-profit venture that we're trying to do here. It's literally because we want to make sure that we have a space in the city. And I'm thinking of the future. I'm not from El Paso. My daughter is from here. She was born and raised here. My son, he grew up here. They consider this home. Eventually, I'll leave El Paso. So I don't have that personal agenda of trying to get something. I want to make sure that I did all that I could while I was here
Mhm.
before I leave, because eventually the Lord will release me to go. But I want to make sure I did everything that I could to make sure the future here in El Paso is great for my kids if they want to live here. Because
Mhm.
of course, my daughter, her being from here, she does want to eventually retire here in El Paso. She's a student at UTEP right now. She just graduated, but she's in grad school now. But she loves El Paso. So what
Mhm.
can I do right now to benefit her and others in the future, because they're going to be the ones who take over the city, who are
Yep.
running the county. So how we treat them now too, how they see how we respond to how our city is ran and our county is ran, is going
Mhm.
to be really it's detrimental right now because people aren't talking about it, but it will be
Mhm.
beneficial if they see us actually getting involved and doing something about it too.
Exactly. All right. What are your views on the candidacy of an African American man running for mayor of El Paso?
Okay. So I know that literally has to do with Mr. Renard Johnson running for mayor. And a lot of people have thoughts about it just because he's black. I mean, he's a man who's running for mayor.
Yeah.
That's what I see. Him being a
Mhm.
black man, yes, it's obviously a great thing. We need to see more of us in politics. We
Mhm.
have some great ideas. We are professional, we're intelligent people here. We can be involved. So I see an intelligent black man running for mayor who has some great ideas for our community.
Mhm.
He cares about the youth. He let it be known that when it comes to being in office, he understands that the youth, the teens, the young adults, he has to make sure that they know that they are the stakeholders, when it comes to living in this city. And he
Yeah.
wants to hear from them. Most people haven't asked our youth, the teens, young adults, what is it that they need or want? That's what's on his mind. Of
Mhm.
course, business, infrastructure, all of that, yes. But he's genuinely concerned about our youth. And I believe he has the same thoughts that I have when it comes to that. They have to live here. They're
Yeah.
going to be the ones who take over eventually. So let's make sure that we do what we can to place the city in a position to where they want to stay here instead of leave. Because right now our youth are leaving. As soon as they graduate, they're wanting to leave.
Yeah.
So why is that? We need to have the conversation with the youth, and he's wanting to do that. So I think it's a great idea that he's running for office. In addition, it gets rid of that, what we were talking about when it comes to black people being a monolith. Some people believe that the only reason a black person wants to run for office is because they have a personal agenda. He has no personal agenda. He has his own business. He wants the city see the city grow. This is where he's originally from Chicago, but he grew up here. Graduated from Andrews High School. He has a vested interest in this city. So
Mhm.
being a black man, he's representing well. That's what we need because
Yeah.
we have people who believe that black men, and to me right now there's a war against black men. And this year, I said I was going to do it last year, but this year for sure, I'm fighting for our black men because as soon as he ran, you have the conversation starting of, oh, here goes another brother. What does he want? It's all negative. So me
Mhm.
as a black woman, what I'm going to do is make sure that regardless, I'm going to fight for black men.
Mhm.
So a black man running for office who actually knows what he's doing, that's a win for us. I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah. Exactly. Do you believe there are still unresolved issues regarding diversity within the Black community in El Paso? And
Yes.
how can you how can concrete actions be beyond dialogue or to address them? How
Okay.
do
So that's what behind the conversation, and that's what I've been saying. We need a call to action beyond the conversation. Yes, there are still issues. There's lack of representation. There are people, including black people, who believe that we need to get rid of the word black. They agree with the governor that Texas has right now as far as when it comes to DEI. And
what?
that bothers me when I hear black people say, let's stop the race conversation. We're still going through it. I still go through it. I still get emails and messages from people saying that I'm dividing the community by having Black El Paso voice.
What?
Um, I've been threatened just from doing this. And I'm like, I'm talking to our people. So why do you have a problem with it? But at the same time, you get that from the black community as well. So yes, there are still some issues here that we have, and it needs to go beyond the conversation. I'm done talking. I'm done talking. Of course, we have to have the conversation, but I'm tired of just having the conversation.
Needs
We
to be
need action
action.
with it, but we
Mm.
need people who are going to come on board to make sure that we continue the conversation too. We
Mhm.
continue the conversation, but actually do put some action to it. Hi, Curtis.
Hi, Curtis.
Hey, mom. Yeah. How y'all doing?
Welcome.
Fedora,
About
I'm
time.
trying to take some medicine. You threw me on the
Well,
couch.
you said you were there. You asked to be entered, so
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
hey, everybody. Uh, I'm here. I'm listening in on the conversation where we at, and I think she brought up some great points, and one of the things that she's already mentioned, Fedora, you meeting around can be a lot of same
I
conversations,
think your phone is going
and
in and
I
out.
agree with her.
Your
Now,
internet is breaking up. It's
uh,
breaking up.
oh, same team. So what's going on with the internet nowadays?
Yeah.
I don't
They
know.
don't want
But
us to talk. They don't want us to
Basketball.
talk. I don't know if he says something or not. Okay, so I think he'll have to go out and come back in.
yeah,
But I think we still need to have the conversation, but again, there needs to be some action um
with it.
because we've been talking for years. We've
Yeah.
been talking for years, and there's not a lot that's being done. Again, I'm only one person. We do have people who are working with us, but they need rest too. You know, when
Mm,
it comes down to it, we just need people who are going to be able to go to some of these meetings, to be able to bring back the information so that we can share with our community.
mhm,
We need those who have solutions, because I've spoken with several people here who have some great solutions when it comes to the youth, especially.
mhm.
And we need to be able to hear that. We need the leaders in our city to be able to hear that. And I know you brought up about the elections and working with those in office and those who are running for office. When it comes to that, it's like I think people have this misconception that Black people are going to listen to an organization that's specifically for Black people when it comes to voting. So of course we're in election season. Tuesday is Super Tuesday. We're supposed to get out there and vote right now. We're in the
Mhm.
primaries, right?
Mhm.
So of course everybody's like, well, where all these people come from? It's an election season. We
Mhm.
need people to understand candidates, elected officials, to know that we need to be able to see you outside of just election season,
Yeah.
outside of just Black History Month, outside of just Juneteenth or MLK Day. Those are the three times usually in a year: MLK Day, Black History Month, and Juneteenth. Now Juneteenth is
Mhm.
when we only see our elected officials or those running for office. Some of them, not all of them.
Mhm.
But what does that look like? Right now it's election season. So next year around this time, are we going to still see those same people? That's what another part of the conversation we need to have, and that's why a lot of Black people, true enough, we did a survey and asked those questions. Do they trust elected officials? Do they trust those who are running for office, or do they believe that just everyone has an ulterior motive? This is why some Black people believe that there's an ulterior motive, because we only see people
When
during
they
election.
want to vote. Mhm. When
You
they want
know,
to vote. Yeah.
um, so to me it's important to build the relationships, and for
Mhm.
for the elected officials to actually reach out to us. I was told that if we want elected officials to hear about our problems, then we need to go to them. They had no problem coming to us when they were running for office, but now all of a sudden people are saying, well, they can't find you. We're here. All you have to do is Google Black El Paso and you'll find some people who want to have the conversation.
Mhm.
It bothers me that people only come out during election season,
Mhm.
but we're here and we're still fighting for it. Some Black people believe there are no issues here because they're not hearing about it. It's because they're not in the trenches, with some of us. We're still fighting for our kids to be treated fairly at school. There's still racism going on. We have little girls and boys going home cutting their hair because of what somebody said to them. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So the problem is still here.
Yeah.
The problem is still here, and it starts with building relationships. The only way to fix some things is to build relationships. So when and I see where Andre, that's our friend Andre from the Reset up
Oh,
in
that is
Chicago,
it.
but he's a friend of ours here in El Paso, and he says politicians need to meet people where they are.
Yep.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. I wish Andre was here. He's one of those people who would literally be out there being able to, gather people together, gather us together to be able to have the conversation, but move beyond the conversation and actually, do something about it.
Mhm.
So what
Yep.
I see now, and I've talked to some of those who are running for office, and they're actually, pretty genuine. They're there outside of election season. We see them. But newer people, it's like they're saying, okay, so tell us about you Black people. I mean, how many more times are we going to have the conversation about who we are? I've
Mhm.
had the conversation several times about who we are as Black people, what we want as Black people. But then you have Black people who have a seat at the table who are telling these people,
Oh,
oh,
okay.
I'll tell you what the Black community wants. And they have their own interests. They're
Mhm.
only focused on themselves. So that leaves the politicians and those running for office to believe that those people represent us and that they speak for us, and that's not the case.
That's okay.
That's what we need to get people to see and understand. They don't represent all of us. That's
Mhm.
not true. um, when it comes to organizations who are in the community who are supposed to be our voices, they're not there. And I'm
Mhm.
going to be transparent and honest when I say I'm a big supporter of all civil rights organizations, but lately, what's been happening, and Dre is absolutely correct. Gatekeepers are in the
Is
way.
that in the way?
There are
Yeah.
good gatekeepers and there are bad gatekeepers. I'm all for. I understand when it comes to being a gatekeeper because
Mhm.
sometimes we have to have people who are going to protect our interests. But then you have those other ones who they're only out for themselves. So they're
Mhm.
leaving us out there. They're not telling us they're going to these meetings and talking to people and telling them what we want and need. I found out that there are some who are having these conversations and they're not including us at all.
Mhm.
They're focused on themselves because they want to run for office. And
Mhm.
these are Black people. So I'm calling out our own Black people. Stop doing that. You're making it worse for for us.
Mhm.
It's not your responsibility, true enough. It's the politicians who need to be able to come and talk to us and not just one person. One
Mhm.
person doesn't
Can't speak
understand
for everybody.
all of us.
Mhm.
You have to be able to get all of us together, especially our youth and our young adults. The young adults and the youth, the teenagers, they can tell you right away what the problem is, but nobody's listening to them. We're providing a platform so that they can speak. That's what we're going to do. But and then this can't all be discussed in one podcast or one session or one episode. This is something that we have to get together to figure out and come up with a plan and make it happen. Again, I'm done with the conversation. We have the plan.
Action.
We just
Yeah.
need people who are available to implement the plan.
Yeah. So what's next for Black El Paso?
Whew. Um, we do have a lot going on, but right now the focus is for us to focus on getting our media um, updated and up to date and bringing some people on board who are going to be able to attend these meetings and share. It's all about information sharing. That's our focus right now, information sharing and how we can help one another. So it's been difficult when it comes to the media here. Like we have a great relationship with El Paso Matters. We look to El Paso Matters actually when it comes to politics and who's who in the city when it comes to the political arena. But when it comes to everything else, we still get kind of left out when it comes to the media, except again during Black History Month, Juneteenth, MLK Day. So we want to be able to be our own news media outlet, but we still have to be able to find a way to get the information. That's where we need people. We need one another so that we can implement that part of it. That's what we're doing with Black El Paso Voice right now, and we have several different media outlets that we're using. Um, that we have right now that we hope to continue to use to get the word out about some things that we may be missing when it comes to resources, when it comes to just what's available in the city, what's available outside of the city that we don't get. We don't get a lot of the information that they're getting on the East Coast and the West Coast. So we want to be able to have those people with us who can help us gather information and bring it back. Our focus is media, sharing information.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, we have Suite 915, and we're going to be revamping Suite 915, and we also have Beware the Day with Ryan. He's a podcaster. These are podcasts that are under us as far as Mocha Radio. Of course, you saw Dre post. He's with the Reset, but he's out of the Chicago area. But because I'm here and he's a great friend, I consider him my brother. He cares about what's going on here too, and he shares a lot of great information when it comes to the Black demographic. Especially when it comes to destroying those myths that people have about us. But just an example. So we have Black El Paso Voice, of course. Our podcast is going to be each week. And I'll share some of that. Like Curtis, he just interviewed Renard, who is running for mayor. And you can see and hear that on YouTube and some of the other podcasts. You can see it on Facebook. And of course, also under Black El Paso Voice, we had some of our Black Roundtable members who were at UTEP last month for Black History Month, and you have to go listen to that. It's amazing what they were able to discuss. It's sad because UTEP, of course, they can't do the DEI thing right now, but they had a great conversation. We have with us Ryan Adams, who of course does Beware the Day podcast about Black history. He does it every Friday. Since they won't allow it in the schools, Ryan is bringing it to the community every Friday. My daughter, Bani Janae, she's in entertainment and music, but she has a love for our people as well. Tomas Ariano, he's one of our new friends, and he's on board with us he's a very avid Black history aficionado. He's becoming that, and he and next to him is Jacqueline Richard. Both of them are Afro-Latino. So they bring a different perspective as well, because they get left out of the conversation too. But they're strong supporters of what we're trying to do here in El Paso, and they also want to see El Paso grow. Ryan also interviewed recently Alexandria Anello. You remember, she's the one who came on board with us way before and helped us, celebrate Juneteenth. She helped give us the information and the park. And now, because of her efforts and because of my efforts in writing letters to the city, we were able to get Juneteenth added to the city budget, which was amazing. And another person, Charles, he's not on this picture, but Charles interviewed Dr. Alessandro Hamilton. Now, his name is MC Nice, and he just interviewed him. You have to go listen to his interview. It's amazing. He's from El Paso. He was originally from California, but he grew up here in El Paso, and he's trying to actually start a school of the performing arts here for kids K through 12.
Oh, wow.
It's needed. I mean, it's the answer to so many issues. And if you listen to what he's saying and what he wants to do, that school needs to be here. And to me, I think the community needs to be able to support him. He's from El Paso. He wants to see our youth do well. A school of the performing arts in El Paso, it answers so many questions. So what I want to do, it's election season. I want to know what candidates or elected officials are actually going to support what he's trying to do for our youth. If they're for our youth, is this something that they would support? Those are the questions we need to ask. So with everyone running for office, we have the sheriff, I'm going back to the elections now. So we have people running for sheriff. Everyone knows that's a part of me that just is not going to go away because of what happened to Sergeant James Brown. I don't care what anyone says. To me, he was murdered. We saw it on camera. So that's my concern. Is anyone asking the sheriff's candidates, what would you have done? Because people keep saying, if your employee did it, then you should take responsibility for it. Did anyone take responsibility for it? We let it go when it comes to Sergeant James Brown. No Black organizations, not one Black organization stood up to do anything when Sergeant James Brown, active duty service member, was killed in the county jail. And he didn't do anything wrong. So my thing is, who's going to be the next sheriff? Because I don't like the fact that we still voted in the current sheriff, because this happened on his watch. So everyone's talking about everything else except for that. My mind is still on Sergeant James Brown. That was a Black man, and no one here, not a lot of people here from the Black community even said a word, because they were friends with someone. That bothers me. So while they're busy worrying about getting an invitation to the table or to the dinner, my focus is, what if that was my son? Because he's been through some things here too, when it comes to law enforcement, and I support law enforcement. But what if that was my son? Would you just be quiet? And more than likely, they would. They're showing us who they are. This is why I want to let candidates know. I'm an independent voter. I'm neither Democrat nor Republican. Of course, we all know that we have to vote one way when it comes to the primaries. But come November, you don't have to vote straight ticket. And I know most of the people who listen to this are saying, don't say that. Vote straight Democrat or something. No, not me. I'm not going to vote straight Democrat, because when I look back at everything I've been through here, the people in charge are Democrat. And I'm not saying anything bad against Democrats. What I'm saying is, we have to be able to think for ourselves. We can't just trust someone's word. We have to be able to go out there to find out who the candidates are, why they're running. They have our best interest at heart. Ask the hard questions. Just because someone has a banquet and says we're endorsing this person doesn't mean they're for us overall. That doesn't mean they're for us. So my thing is, what we need are people who are going to say, I'm neither Democrat nor Republican, or even if you are, understand that we can all come together and say, and eventually say, we have to find out and dig deep what's best for us when it comes to politics, when it comes to education, all of that. Yeah. So where are those people? Those are the people we need. Since July, when we had that meeting, a few people have come forward. Exactly like Joy said, policy over party. We've had a few people who have come on board basically and had that same sentiment, policy over party. Who's the best for us? Who can we sit down at the table with? And everybody keeps saying, well, if you guys just vote this way or vote that way, they're talking about, Trump. I mean, right now, and I'm going to be honest on that too, I'm worried about our country.
It's scary, isn't it?
When it comes to who's running for Democrat and who's running for Republican, is this the best we've got? So so my focus is, of course, nationally, but right now I'm focusing on locally. Like, what are we going to do locally? And how can we best help one another to understand that it's not about us just personally. We have to look at the bigger picture. And with the Black community right now, in June, we're going to have a state of Black El Paso. So between now and then, we're going to see if people come on board to help us out. But the state of Black El Paso in June, we're going to see where we are right now when it comes to the election, the primaries, to June. What's going to take place? I want to find the Black people in the community who are going to come on board with us and help us move forward. I mean, that's just all to it. But again, with Black El Paso Voice, we have our various media outlets that we're going to be using to share information. And it's positive, yes. It's educational. We're talking about politics. We're talking about health and wellness. Our overall total being. That's what we're going to be looking for. We have some great people on board already who are in the mental health field who are assisting us, who are going to write articles, who are going to hold seminars. We have some great people, but we still need more. We can't just do it, by ourselves. But I want to talk to the people who are running for office. I come to my office and talk to me. just come talk to me. I have people in the community who are Black who call me, and they want to share their thoughts. Not everyone can be on camera, and I understand that not everyone wants to be on camera. I don't even want to be on camera. I'm here because I'm being obedient, but I want people to see that I genuinely care. So I want to be able to talk to those running for office and those who are in office now, because for some reason, those who are in office won't give me the time of day. And I'm not a mean person. I just want to talk about, okay, I have some ideas on how you can incorporate the Black community into what you're doing. They've had invitations to come to different meetings we had. They have not accepted it. They'll accept meetings from certain people in the Black community, but when you step back and look back, and I know I'll get some slack for this, but I don't care. It's those who have their own personal agenda. And that's not me. Again, I'm going to leave El Paso one day, but the people that I love and care about are going to be here. What am I doing now to make sure it's going to be okay for them? And that's what they need to know. They need to understand, again, we're not a monolith. There's not just one Black person in the community who is a leader. All of us are leaders, actually. So when it comes down to it, and people say, well, we have no Black community leadership, I beg to differ. I stand here and tell you that I'm a leader in the community, and you're a leader in the community. There are several people here who are doing their part in their own way with what they can. So we can't insult people and say that there aren't any. They are here, but they're just doing their part. But right now, after today, I'm going to call them out. I'm going to say, where are you? I'm tired of going to banquets. I'm tired of going to luncheons. We don't get anything done. What happens after the banquet? I've been here since 96. I've been to every banquet there is. Nothing has been done since then. So I'm just saying, where are we? People are saying we're good. We're fine. No, we're not. No, we're not. We have to do better. But some of the other media outlets that we're preparing right now includes Amplify. And this is the magazine that is part of Black El Paso Voice, and that's every 2 months. And you see Marcus McCoy, he's our editor-in-chief. He'll be talking about that tomorrow, because tomorrow will be the first day that we officially launch online. And the two people who are listed are on the cover, Don Williams, Mr. Don Williams, and Wisa Davis. They're the first Black judges that we've had in El Paso. The first Black judges in El Paso. So we'll be putting information in there. We'll be highlighting Black narratives. We'll share information. We'll share events. When it comes to politics, we'll include that information as well. We want to make sure that we're doing our part to share information with the community. And we do have some people who are helping us. Again, everyone has their part. Some people are better when it comes to writing. Some people are better when it comes to speaking. I'd rather stay behind the scenes when it comes down to being on camera. But we do have some people who truly want to come on board and help us grow. And we will have a weekly news and information segment where we just share news and information. Because again, we can ask to be on the local news. Sometimes they'll allow us, and sometimes they won't. And usually if they'll allow us, it's because of something somebody's doing, whether it's singing or writing or something. But when it comes to talking about policy or the Black community as a whole, we rarely get invited. So I'm not going to wait for that. I'm just going to build our own so that we can get the information out there. Right now, we do see some of us on the news, but what's the purpose? And I'm going to be fair and honest about that too. You have Black people in the community who are for us, and you have Black people in the community who are not for us. But they're out there saying they're portraying like they're for everyone, but they're really not. And so if we see them on the news and we're like, wow, I just asked to come on to talk about how we can grow the Black community, but you don't want us on there. You'd rather have someone who's going to get on there and talk about nothing. That doesn't represent us well.
Mhm.
So we have to be able to do our own, and that's what we're doing.
Good. Right. Well, thank you. Are there any final thoughts that you'd like to share before we wrap up?
I think I said enough.
Yeah.
But
Thank Drop the mic.
but I do want to encourage Black business owners, Black entrepreneurs in the community to sign up for the Black Business Directory. It's elpasoblackpages.com. It's free. We just want to be able to share and refer people to other Black businesses. We want to support. We want an accurate number of how many Black businesses are in El Paso. So if you are a Black entrepreneur, if you know someone who is a Black entrepreneur, has a Black business, and they need a little bit of when it comes to marketing or just wanting the community to share their information, tell them to visit elpasoblackpages.com and submit. And that's for churches and organizations too. We've asked several organizations to include their information because we do get asked that too when it comes to, well, where can we find churches? And we send them there, but sometimes churches will include their information, sometimes they won't. We have the Divine Nine here. Sometimes, we do ask them to include their information too. Right now, the only ones who have submitted information from their fraternities and sororities is Omega Psi Phi, and we appreciate them for doing that. But also when it comes to Black history, Ryan Adams is starting a chapter of the ASALH here, and he would love for people to be a part of that organization. That's how we'll be able to share more about Black history in El Paso. So if you're interested in that, contact Ryan at Beware the Day, and you can find him on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook also. But again, the only other thing I have to say is don't put us all in a box. Don't believe that all Black people are the same. We have so many people here in El Paso who are Black Democrats. We have so many people here in El Paso who are Black Republicans, but they vote, they make their own choices. Not everyone is going to vote straight ticket, regardless. So remember that. It doesn't matter if you're a Democratic candidate. There are some Republican El Pasoans who want to be able to talk to you and hear what you have for our community. So I just want to say again to the Black community here, we need to come together. We need to do better. We need to, just stop talking about it and start, being about it when it comes down to it. We need to put some action, to our words, and then we can go from there.
Exactly. Well, I thank you so much for coming and being obedient and speaking on it. I thank you. I thank you. So
yes, and I will be back. We'll share more information, but on Black El Paso Voice and in Amplify, we'll share more information because again, one segment is not going to, allow us to get everything out there. But I will be starting my podcast as well, finally, and that's where I'll address some of those issues. So I'll let you guys know about that too when that happens. So. So I will talk to you later, Fedora.
All right. Thank you so much for coming. And I guess we lost Curtis again, right?
Yes.
I tell you, internet. We're gonna have to get him help. All right. Well, we'll keep on with it. We have some announcements, some flyers that will be still giving out information. Let's see, she had to change hat a little bit. We'll be displaying them on the screen. I know coming up, we'll have the El Paso, Texas chapter of the Link invites the community to their Black Family Wellness Expo. This is free. And it will be, let me see. You can go to at EP Link 1977 on their social media to get more information about that. It'll be at EP Link 1977 to get more information. Also coming up on March the 29th, we'll have our Elevation Fashion Show. This is by the Graham Agency. It's featuring a dynamic lineup by local designers and boutiques. Like I said, it's going to be that Friday, March the 29th, and tickets are now available. Please follow the Graham Agency and the Face Architect for more information. Let's see. We have Fly Events Promotion has two events coming up. One is on Saturday, March the 23rd at 4 p.m. Foundie Brandy Weiss invites models to find out more about the modeling industry, and she will cover various topics for self-representation and personal branding to safety and security. This seminar is free and open to men and women and older, and youth ages 13 through 17, accompanied by a parent or a guardian. There will be free food provided, and Joe Ruiz Photography will offer a $10 professional photo headshot. For more information, follow them on social media at Fly Event Promotions or flyeventpromotions.com. Our next event with the same Fly Events promotion, we have the 8th annual Know Your Worth fashion show, the Renaissance. It will be featured designer. The featured designer is Ella Ningham, who is originally from Cameroon. Ella is quickly becoming a local favorite in the fashion industry here in El Paso. Tickets, vendor information, and advertising is available. Visit flyeventspromotions.com for more information on signing up as a designer or a retailer. And this event will be April the 27th at 5 p.m. And it's going to be at EPCC. Our next is about self-care symposium. This symposium takes place on May 19th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They are looking for sponsors, collaborators, vendors, and exhibitors in the health, wellness, and beauty industry, as well as those who support holistic wellness initiatives. You don't have to be local to El Paso. They have plenty of ways you can collaborate with them on this event. Please visit Amazing Event. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at OP Opulent Skin Suite. So at Opulent Skin Suite. All right. That sums it up. Just remember, tune in to other podcasts on Black El Paso Voice, Mocha Radio Network. Tomorrow, see us at Real Talk with Marcus McCoy. He'll speak with Minerva Torres Shelton, the former FBI agent and police officer who is the only woman and Republican running for sheriff. So check that out tomorrow at noon. Every Friday, check Ryan Adams, who features Black history with focus on generational wealth. That's going to be a good one. In addition, Ryan is also leading the charge to bring a chapter of the ASALH here to El Paso. We encourage you to contact him at theweartheday@gmail.com for more information on how you can be involved in elevating Black history in El Paso. Also, save the date. We have our Juneteenth celebration. It will take place on June 15th at Tobin Park. More information will be released this week regarding volunteers, vendors, entertainment, and more. You can also email juneteenthelpaso@gmail.com for more information. For more information on the current political climate and who is running, we want you to visit epcountyvotes.com and visit elpasomatters.org. El Paso Matters has a comprehensive voter guide. Check that out. The link will be in the comment section. And then also go by way of our Black business directory, elpasoblackpages.com. You can reach out at facebook.com/El Paso Black Pages, Black El Paso Black Business, Instagram.com/El Paso Black Business. Discover and shop Black businesses here in El Paso. Then go over to the Black Information Exchange. The Black Information Exchange is available for you to submit your information. Visit blackinformationexchange.com. And our next show is going to be March the 17th. So, and actually, I might be out that day because I'll be, handling some business because that's my business. But me and Curtis might change spots that day. All right. So it was great. You know what I always say, keep love in your heart, protect yourself. COVID is still out here. Now we have the RSV and the flu. So please, stay safe. If you're traveling, stay safe, wear your mask, and yeah, keep love in your heart, and peace.